have the very great pleasure of having with us today Kaji and Teddy. They are very long-term devotees of Guruji, and they knew Guruji when he spent quite a bit of time in Kenya. And they first met Guruji when he was 17 years old. And as you know, we're celebrating his 42nd birthday today. And so that was over 25 years ago. And so that was before the time of Bhakti Marga, before the time when Guruji officially started his mission. And so they have a very unique relationship with Guruji, and they are his adopted spiritual parents. And that's a very, very unique relationship that they have with Guruji, and they have some amazing experiences. So without further ado, I'd just like to start off by asking Kaji and Teddy, how did you guys first meet Guruji?
We just met Guruji at a friend's place where we used to go and do bhajans every Friday. And Guruji was called by them in Nairobi for a week. So my friend asked me to come and meet Guruji. And I said, okay, when my time comes, I'll come and see him. But it didn't come the whole week until the last minute, the last day, where Guruji called me midnight. I said, okay, went there. And when we went to the place, he was on the swing, Jula, yeah? Mm-hmm. He said, hey, Curly, come inside. I said, whoop. I was like, I said, okay. And then
because of your hair.
Yeah, because of my hair, he called me Curly.
Yeah.
And my friend said she's called Kajal and not Curly. He said, doesn't matter, Curly. I said, okay, it's okay. So then he moved his hand round and manifested some vibhuti for Teddy and me. And then we chatted until 3 a.m. And still he didn't want us to go back home. I said, no, stay. I said, no, we'll meet up again, but it's too late now and you have a flight back to Mauritius, yeah?
Yeah. So
then he left next day, but leaving a lingam for me. Mm-hmm. And he said, I'm coming after a month and I'll see you then. So after a month, comes back into Nairobi. And then again we meet. We got to see each other every day, yeah? From evening till midnight, we used to be with him. Yeah? So that's how we met Guruji. It was like, I got someone like, the house became like heaven on earth with him on every visit,
Yeah.
And it is still like, I miss those days.
Yeah. But some of the devotees may not know you are his adopted spiritual parents, and he was with you when he was very young. Tell us how this very special relationship formed and how it came about.
Yeah, okay. When from Switzerland, when Guruji came to our place, then he asked me, you don't have any kids? I said, no. So he said, okay, I'm going to give you a coconut. So he prayed on the coconut and gave it to us. And he says, just keep it in the mandir. And after some time, he asked me, where is the coconut? I said, it's in the mandir. So he went in the mandir. And I don't know, he was praying there and suddenly he became furious, like Narasimha.
Guruji became like Narasimha.
Like Narasimha, yeah?
Yeah.
And I took the coconut, he went out in the garden and threw the coconut and came back inside and went right into the mandir, sat there and called both of us, come inside. I said, okay. I was also scared because, seeing him in that form is scary,
Yeah.
And he said, listen to me. Keep cool. He's telling me, keep cool, listen to me. God wants me to become your son. How about that?
Wow.
And I said, at that time, I had no answer. I was a bit, shaken, like I didn't know what to say. And I said, okay, that's fine. It's cool. He says, but you have to face a lot of things with me, I said, for you, anything. I will fight through the world. No problem. And I did that. the body part was same. His face turned into totally Narasimha. I could see the teeth and the red eyes turned like a lion face. Even like today, if I can sketch, I can really sketch it, with his gloves in his hands were, very scary but very beautiful, to see Narasimha. But then he said, again you want to say? I said, no, it's risky. Because my temperature rose for 3 days. It could not go down. I was, it was. And then after that, he said, you will get Narasimha at your home. And eventually I have Ugra Narasimha at home, this about 8 feet, no? Colored, Ugra one. There with me, but no one. So I asked everyone, did you see? He said, no. About 25 years back, when we used to go to do kirtan at one of my friend's place every Friday. And one of her son had some eye problem. So he had a supplier from Mauritius, and he was related to Guruji. So he said, why don't you try my nephew? He can do, because he's got all this ability to do it. Then they called Guruji and he sent them a lingam. And they told him to do abhishek of water and splash that water in his eye. And eventually after a month or so he got okay, which the doctors could not do, but Guruji did it. Then they called Guruji to Kenya. So he came for a week. And my friend told me, you have to meet him now. So I said, okay. The moment we entered her door, she opened the door, and as usual, Guruji was on a jula. And he's swinging there. And when I came and he called me, you look like Sai Baba. Huh? I said, oops. And he said, come and sit here with me. So when me and Daddy said, he moved his hand round, and materialized vibhuti like this, and said, have it. So from there, my doubt went out, and I said, whoops, this is something, And he said, make us sit till 3 o'clock in the morning, and we were all talking. We had a children's home. We had adopted a children's home. So he was asking me how it goes, and I said, it goes well, and we are looking after it with the ultimate's grace, and so he was really interested, and till 3 in the morning he didn't let us go. And then of course we had to leave because he had a flight next morning.
He said, I'm going back to Mauritius. When I come back, I'll see you again. Yeah, that is how when he came back from Mauritius, we went to see Guruji at midnight at our friend's house. And this is how we met Guruji.
I was 26, yeah. And Teddy was 28.
Yeah, I was 28, she was 26. So it's been, Guruji has come into our life, it's been about 25 years now.
It was the bond which was as if, we knew each other for many, I couldn't tell, but that feeling was there, And like I told Teddy, now every day it's not good to go, let everybody else have chance with him. So about 3 days or 4 days we didn't go. And Rakesh, he kept Rakesh there every time, and he told Rakesh, where are they? Go and call them, I want to see them. She will come when I die. This is the statement he put. I said, oops. And like me, Rakesh and Teddy were the closest like him. And we also gathered few more teenage, like at that age, That is how we got more closer and closer every day. He told me, I'm coming, I want to come home now for tea. He said, okay, come, let's go. He came home, and the moment he put his foot on my doorway, vibhuti started flowing out of his body. And after 2 minutes, Amrit started falling off, And then he came inside, and then he was looking at my house, and he goes to me, where is my room? I said, you can choose whatever you want. Any room you can choose. So he went upstairs and he chose on the room on the right. And he said, this is going to be my room. So I was still doubting from inside. I don't know why, what is going to happen. I was still not like, So he said, this is going to be my room, okay? And I said, okay. He said, can we have people calling at home? I said, yeah, fine, no problem, because those days we didn't know the crowd would be how. And so I said, okay. And it so happened that when I told a few of my friends and word of mouth, and we started the first darshan, he was seeing people faced one-to-one. He would give 10-15 minutes to each one of them. So it would start from morning 9 o'clock and end up till midnight. Every day we used to have 400, 500 people coming, going, yeah. And it was like, it was tough, but it was so nice that at least he was giving time to people.
On his 21st birthday, we were in Mauritius. So, like Guruji celebrates his birthday by doing yagna and kirtan and all these things. So at that time, he was doing a yagna for the people there, and there were many people gathered there. So he had called his family to sit in the yagna, and one of his friends came and called us. He says, Guruji is calling you to sit in the yagna. But he said, it is only for the family. So Guruji said, no, you come and sit. And at that time, during the yagna, and it was his parents, his sisters sitting, and then he told us, he said, he told his parents, he says, from today onwards, they are going to be my spiritual parents. And he said, I'm telling you in front of the Yagni Dev, the Yagna. And that is the time he took us as parents, spiritual parents from that home.
Actually, after coming first time to Kenya, and then he was so much used with us, and like we become a family. And so whenever he has to go back to Mauritius, he would not he would sulk. One day he would literally sulk and close in the room. So I would tell him, why are you sulking? Why are you locking yourself in a room? He said, I don't want to go back to Mauritius. I don't want to go. I said, but you have to go. No, you can come back afterwards. His mom, Bindu, would call me. He says, Kachi, what? This boy of mine is not mine, he's yours, because he can't stop talking about you. He's full 24/7, he's just on and on and on. So, and then Guruji told his mom, he said, one day they are going to become my parents, And then Bindu told me, I'm giving him birth, but you are his Yashodamaya, not me. I said, Bindu, don't worry. He's yours, but he's mine as well. So we all, and his parents are so nice. They had no obligations, nothing. He says he's always yours. So she's quite happy, that he's in the safe hands. And they had no problems at all. In fact, even for his sister's wedding, Guruji made us do Kanyadan,
When your sister in the family gets married, a brother and the family has to give kanya. Kanya means bride, isn't it?
Right.
So they have to give that means they are giving kanyadan. So he called us to give that kanyadan for our sister, because it took us as his parents. Yeah, so
Dina is same for us. Even we've taken Dina as our daughter, So whatever we done for Guruji, we also did for her. So it's like that family bond, yeah. So and this is how we have Guruji in our life. Mount Kenya was Guruji's favorite place. He wouldn't want to go anywhere, he would just want to go there. So we would gather everyone and all of us would go and spend weekend in Mount Kenya, and then he would make all of us sit there and then he would talk, he would give satsang, talking about Ramayan, Mahabharat, and explain to all of us.
Our group, we used to do bhajan. We are about 20 of us. But when Guruji comes, more people comes and see him, join us with the bhajans. Guruji sings a lot of bhajans with us. We used to go to Mount Kenya Safari Club with that Sangha, about 40 of us together, you know. And one thing with Guruji, Kajal's dad had a problem with the hand. So just after a few days after his birthday, we celebrated his birthday there in Mount Kenya as well. And he asked Kaji, he says, what do you want? Kaji said, okay, heal his hand. So Guruji took his hand and just pulled the hand, and the hand, her dad's hand was healed. You know, it had locked. He couldn't move the hand.
Doctors didn't do anything. For 3-4 years he was suffering, but Guruji did in 1 second, you know. So that was even a miracle for everyone to see, you know. It was like we had a really big Sangha, you know, that love and, you know, sharing things with each other. It was different, you know, he was different. We were all together and everyone would share with him everything, and it was nothing that, we would not leave anyone out. We would make everyone come at home, and, you know, would not be that, oh no, this one should not be here or not. No. Eventually from 42 we had 60 people falling everywhere. We would go together, you know, picnics, we would go picnics. Again he told us come back to Nairobi. So we came back to Nairobi and I got another home. So, you know, he says, why don't you make a mandir here? So I said, okay. So I made a mandir, like a room size, no?
Yeah.
And he brought a Shirdi Baba deity, which was what, 3 feet?
Yeah, well,
two or 3 feet, yeah. And then he did Pran Pratishtha for that mandir. So then he's telling me, I need kumkum. So I said, okay, I'll get you kumkum. But when I gave him kumkum, this is not a nice kumkum, this is not good. So I said, but Nairobi, you will not get it. You know, it's difficult to get, because those days, we never used to get much things from outside. So I said, why don't you tell your friend to give us? So, you know, he said, ha, always defying me, huh? And he says, okay, give me a bowl. So I gave him a bowl. And then he went room upstairs, there was another room. And he went to the wall and he just did like this, and like a fountain, kumkum came out of the wall. And, you know, like it was like a fountain. I said, wow, this is like river falls coming out non-stop. And then he told me, now say to it, stop. So I said, stop. Again, then it stopped. But the kumkum was still continuing coming even after, for a long time. Yeah. So that is how we got a very, very maroon, the original kumkum for the Pran Pratishtha and everything.
He rang us 5 o'clock in the morning, and he said, guess where I am? So I said, you must be in the airport somewhere sitting, you know, so you get time to call us. So you wanted to talk. He said, yes, I'm in the airport, but guess where I am? I said, he was flying to Mauritius, and because of the cyclone weather, Mauritius, the plane couldn't land. So the plane was diverted to Mombasa. We went to Mombasa. We spent 4 hours with him in Mombasa, and then the plane left in the evening. No?
So, like, that is the first time we met Aradhana and everyone there with him and others. And like then afterwards, Anupa asked him, how come you did like this? How come, what had you come to do? You can't just come like that. So then he told Anupa, I had specially come to see Teddy and Kaji. I didn't want to come to Nairobi. So I made this thing happen so that they would come and see me in Mombasa. So, you know, and it also happened that we got the flight, 1 o'clock flight to Mombasa, and the others did not get. All of the others got at 4 o'clock. No?
Yeah, they came at 4 o'clock.
And by the time they reached Mombasa, they only got spent with Guruji just for 10 minutes because he was leaving back to Mauritius. And we spent with him about 4 to 5 hours,
5 hours, yeah,
in the hotel. And then Guruji told Aradhana Ananda, look, they are my parents. You want to know more about them? Sit and talk with them. the day before yesterday, he was at night. He was talking to me. He says, "Kaji, don't we miss those days?" I said, "Of course, those days are like golden memory for us, you know." So like I understand. I told him, no worries, because you are in our heart. No one will take us away from our heart. You know, whether we see you or not see you, you will forever remain in our heart. You know, and like. It's like we hardly go and see him anywhere, you know, very rare. Like I'd been to Germany 6 years back and not gone to see him. But I said, every day I will remember you. Every day you are in our heart. I know he's there with me all the time, you know. So, yeah, but everybody has to have chance with him, yeah. We had our times, yeah, those was different. But now he's very busy with everyone.
When he's with his devotees, he's a bit serious. But when he's with us, he's like our son, you know.
He's still the same.
He plays around and he says, "I need a little bit of time to have fun with people." So he to have fun. So when he's with us, 1 hour, 2 hours, he's very relaxed. He has fun with us.
Yeah, he video calls us every other day and just says, "Hi Kaji, what are you doing?" I said, "What would I do? I just sit there." Because I'm alone, so most of the time I spend my time sitting in my mandir. I don't go out too much, and I don't like going for these kitty parties and things like that. That's not me. Most of the time I'm just sitting with him in the mandir, you know, and he's my companion. I talk to him, he's like my mom, dad, everything he's to me like that. So anything I have, I just go in the mandir, I sit with him for hours and hours, you know, and that's how I remove my time, you know, with him full time. Yeah, but he's still my Visham. He's still my Vish. I always call him Vish, and that bond will never break, never, because that is the grace from the ultimate, you know. And yeah. We are very proud parents, like peacock, at least me. No matter what comes to you, no matter what teachings, whatever he's testing you, but don't leave him. That is what I would tell to the world. Don't leave him. Hold on to him.
We'll tell to all his devotees, you know, no matter what, stick to him, because he's precious.
Gurudev.